Welcome back to another episode of Opinionated Facts. I'm your host Drizzle, and today we got another special guest in the building, A.D Kindle.
What up, what up?
How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Okay. It's been a while since we done we linked. What was the first time we linked up? What was that? 2018 maybe?
Might have been the end of 2017.
It was about 18,
'Cause it's-
17. It was around that
yeah,
time.
it was right after 27.
Got you,
Yeah,
got you. Okay, yeah. That was
a bit.
man, but to think that was 6 years ago. That's a
Yeah,
long time. But
yeah.
I'm glad to have you back on the show. You recently just dropped your latest project, the World Series tape. I've noticed a trend. Uh, did you play baseball or softball? What's your connection with baseball? Because it's not the first project where baseball's kind of been like
Yeah.
a theme.
No, I didn't play baseball. I played basketball, but I'm a
Okay,
big sports fan.
got you.
And the idea just came from just me feeling like I'm like continuously striking out each project or whatever. And so we found a way to kind of like build a like I guess like a brand around that.
Hmm.
So it's just like an analogy for, the things we go through in life or as a creative and shit like that. So it's like you just keep swinging until you hit. So we
Okay.
just found a pretty creative way to, what I'm saying, create something that people could relate to, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the project before this, because the project before this, you did, was the whole thing with you and Axel Rowley, or was that just,
No, so the precursors to the World Series tape, we dropped the Great Bambino
gotcha.
first, and that was production from Axel Rowley and Roundtree.
Yeah, okay.
And then we dropped the Breakfast of Champs, and that was all Roundtree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was the tape with Axel. Damn, I wish I could remember the name of the song because I'm a big YouTube person.
Yeah.
So like I a lot of the music I listen to, I don't even open Spotify and Apple. Like I'm
Is
big
it
on it.
Wowzers you referring to?
I think it is
No, it
Wells.
might be the Great you referring to.
The Great.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the that's the one. And I remember, I think I might have been at the gym. I can't remember, but I'm listening, and it came on. And usually when I hear something, and like I'm like I'll pause, and I heard it, and I said, "What the fuck?" And I ran it back, and it just so happened I called one of the homies. I said, "Bruh," because I think this is when I followed you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I followed you on Instagram, followed on TikTok, but I was like, I was going to tag on Twitter like, man, A.D Kindle rap better than 90% of these niggas out here. Like, I don't know if y'all listening or y'all paying attention, but she can rap. And I was like, I'm getting on Twitter and I'm typing in A.D. I'm like, yo, I can't find this. I hit the homie. He was like, he told me it was like, it's the great. Is it the greatest or the
Yeah.
great?
Underscore the Great.
The great. And
Yeah.
he was, it's the great. And I was like, okay, bet. And that's when I put out that tweet and I was like, yo, she's rapping. Um, that song, I'm a huge fan of Rowley's production. Roundtree, that's the first time I've ever heard any production from that producer, but Rowley specifically, I can't remember the last time I heard something that he produced or had his hands in that I was like wasn't a banger
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So what would you say is, I don't want to say what would you say is your goal with this tape because it did drop perfect time and it dropped during the World Series. Um, who were you going for?
Yankees.
The Yankees.
Yeah. Got washed, but
Yeah. Now, is there any particular reason why you was going for the Yankees?
nah, cause I mean the White Sox wasn't in, so I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
White
not no
Sox.
Dodgers fan, so
The Dodgers.
huh?
That's what's wrong with the Dodgers.
Nah, I'm just not no Dodgers fan.
Yeah, yeah. The White Sox. How did you become a White Sox fan?
I was born in Chicago originally,
Oh, okay,
so
okay. So you was just kind
off
of
top,
you just
White
fucked with
Sox.
them. Okay,
Yeah,
'cause I'm about to say it's. I think they set the record for most losses in
Yeah, it was
consecutive. It's like
doozy this year.
25 or something like that this
Yeah,
year.
they was doozy
Yeah,
this
that was
year.
pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But okay, that's dope. That's dope. So, um, I listened to the project. I'm gonna say about 4 or 5 times, and every time I listen to the project, the one song that I always stop on is "Bad and Average." I believe it's with "Bad and Average" because usually when I listen to a tape I like, I just play it. All right, but
Yeah,
"Bad and Average" when that comes on, I'm running back. So
yeah.
it's like, what was your mindset going into not only just like making this project, but for like beyond, like what's your mindset going forward? Because it seems like you kind of got a clear idea of the path you want to take.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably can hear it through the music. Got like a bit of a chip on my shoulder, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Are you rapping?
Yeah. Really. What was the question again? I'm
So
sorry.
pretty
I
much like
want to
what's like
answer it
what's the
correctly. You know what
yeah
I mean?
no, no pretty much what's the direction that you want to go in with this project, like based off of not only just the reception that you've gotten from it, but you seem to having a clear idea of the next step you want to take.
Yeah. Um, Me, I would rather just. I'm taking the approach of just coasting. Really. Uh, when I first started out, I think as every artist or every rapper does, they're rapping with the intention of like breaking through or like making it. And right now in the space that I'm in, because I've been doing it for such a long time, it's just like I'm coasting, and when I get there, type shit. But every time I touch a beat, I'm going. My goal is to destroy it
Yeah. Okay.
and make people hear me. You know?
Now is the baseball theme something that is that something you're just gonna lean into, or is that
Yeah.
just where you are with right now and you going on somewhere else? Like,
Oh, that's the brand.
yeah,
That's the brand. That's what we're gonna stick to, and just find more creative ways to keep amping it up. You know, it's similar to like marathon continues. So it's like we're just gonna keep going with it
okay, okay,
to where it doesn't get dull or gets corny or
yeah,
anything like that.
yeah. What made you choose baseball specifically? Because I know you said you played
Yeah.
basketball, but what made you choose baseball to be like that's the sport I can resonate with and put that into my music conceptually?
Um, Baseball is a hard game.
It is
Like
hard.
it's
It
a
is
hard game to play.
hard.
It's a hard game to watch if you're not really into it. Cause it's not instant gratification. It's not instant results.
Yeah.
And I kind of relate that to artists and rappers like moving throughout the music industry. I mean, yeah, we have certain artists where like they pop out of nowhere and they make it big, but for the most part, this is like an ongoing journey where you're gonna hit and then sometimes you're gonna miss. You're gonna get to a point, you might get to third base and then strike out before you get to home base. And that's kind of like synonymous where you might think that you about to reach your big
Yeah.
and everything gets snatched away from you. So it's just you keep playing and keep going until you eventually, get that trophy.
Okay. No, I can respect that. Now, baseball is definitely
If that makes sense.
no, it most definitely does because if you ask somebody who doesn't play a sport, they wouldn't say baseball is hard. But if you ask like people who actually grew up playing sports, they'll tell you, but baseball is one of the hardest
Yeah.
things to hitting that baseball is not easy. Like being in the outfield is catching that ball is not easy. Like being like none of that. Like it might look like it's simple shit on TV or whatever you watching, but the idea of baseball, like you're a good hitter if you're batting like what 200 or
Yeah.
130. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but like you'd be like, what 18%,
Yeah.
like 19, 20%. That's good in baseball. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
you try to hit an object this big 90 miles per hour and it's like that's not easy
Yeah.
and it's only so many people that are capable of doing that and I think the way that you presented that like with the music and how you can resonate with it, I think it makes perfect sense
Yeah.
because it's not being successful is not necessarily easy nor is it instant gratification. For some people it is. Some people they wake up, they made it.
Yeah.
It's like bam, like, oh, that was easy. But for the majority, it might be somebody putting in work for 10, 12, 15, 20 years before they finally get their big break. And when they finally get their big break, they make the most of it.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you can get to second base and you be like, I'm almost there. And then
And you
damn, some shit
snatch it away.
happens.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you
so
get
many great analogies that come from that where it's just like, fastball, life comes at you fast. And you
curveball.
got your curveball and to throw you off. And then you got people not quite fans yet, but they on the fence.
Yeah.
They
they
watching.
on the fence.
You know what I'm saying? They watching. So it's so many great analogies that you can
Yeah.
use, when it comes to baseball. So and it describes my journey like perfectly. So it comes across authentic.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what has been the, because the tape came out last Friday,
Yeah.
correct? All right. So, what has been the overall reception from the tape you've gotten from just the public, your peers? Like, how are people feeling about the project?
Yeah. They like the penmanship.
Yeah.
Beat selection is obviously got a little bit more mature. That's really what's been they just like the body of work. It's not nothing cheesy or anything like that. They just really like the production, how everything goes together. So, but above all, it's really just been the penmanship.
Copy, copy. Now, would you say, I mean, 'cause people definitely get better with age, but would you say that this is, in your opinion,
Yeah.
would you say that this is your best, damn, trying to think of the correct word. I don't want to say viewership, it doesn't make sense. But would you say this is your best output of your penmanship
Hell
and yeah,
yeah.
writing wise, yeah.
Hell yeah. Like my past like projects, I hear some shit and I'm like, man, I cringe. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I should have said something
Why
differently than
why
that.
but why is that? I hear a lot of artists say, and I'm not saying that you say you don't like your older stuff, but I hear a lot of artists be turned off by their older music.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I ain't really turned off by it, but
Yeah.
it just be like certain songs where I'm like, man, like you should have said it this way, or you should have harmonized better this way. Like my old shit when I was like auto tune and shit like that. I hope the world never hears that shit, bro. I don't know what I had going on during
Yeah.
that time, but it's all trial and error.
Yeah.
But like I really like Black Trailer Park, but I don't listen to it. I just don't fuck with it. And I know a lot of people fuck with it. I like Don't Forget the Dot, but it's certain songs in there where I'm like, okay, I should have took that off, or
Yeah.
I should have said this bar differently. But when I hear like the Great Bambino and like Breakfast of Champs and the World Series tape, I don't cringe at anything.
Yeah.
And that's how I know I've kind of finally got to a space where I'm like, okay, yeah.
So again, like I've noticed artists, like you said, like I hope people don't listen to my auto tune era. I
Man.
hope,
Singing and
when,
shit, bro.
when you hear certain songs that you made a couple years ago, you be like, I definitely wouldn't do that today. It's like a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you have to go through those steps to get the Great Bambino, the Breakfast of Champions, the World Series tape. Like you don't get to this point if you don't hit those
Yeah.
points first. And I think as an artist, and I'm not saying you don't, but I think as an artist, I think you should definitely appreciate those
Yeah.
and be like, yo, like, yeah, that's me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I did that. Yeah, it was auto tune me. You know what I'm saying? So it might not be my best. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that helped me grow into the artist I am today because that let me know like I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah. It's just certain songs I'm like, man, like the AD now would probably never make a love song. Ever. And it's like a
Never say
particular
never.
not in the way that I did in the past. We'll say that because it's like a certain song that everybody likes, and they're like wondering why it's not on streaming services.
Yeah.
The video is taken down. Like,
Like, 'cause I
bro,
don't like
it's
that
like
shit.
down bad. Y'all like that. Yeah, I never gonna hear that shit again, bro. See it again, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is that is now you said you took that down. Is that the only song that you take? Have you taken down others? Like, what's the?
Well, 27 is not up, but that was for other reasons. Where so when I first got started, I didn't really know how, licensing and shit
Yeah,
works and
yeah, and all that
shit. You
shit like
taking
that.
beats off of YouTube and then you getting paid for. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get sued. Let
Yeah,
me go and take this down. So
yeah,
27, and I had this tape that kind of went under like the radar. It was called Sincerely Asian, and it was just off putting and depressive and just and I wiped that off too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now I know the World Series tape is still fresh. You're still pushing it. Have you began? I mean, I'm pretty sure you got songs and music in the tuck, but like, have you began the process of not only just pushing this tape, but taking it and packaging it and pushing it probably harder or more than you ever have since like I said, you've been doing this for a long time, and you definitely wanted to reach
Yeah.
a certain level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, man. This is like the first tape where I'm not ashamed to like promote it. I can admittedly say like I've been caught up in like being too cool to do shit or feeling like I'm a burden on somebody or getting on people's nerves because they see me so much or I'm like promoting so much. But this is like the first tape where putting out, small videos, getting as creative as I can, posting pictures and shit like that, and just like working on a lot of shit behind the scenes to like push this tape the furthest that it could go. So to
yeah,
answer your question, yeah.
okay. Now, who were the main producers on this tape?
Roundtree produced the whole thing.
He produced his whole one as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, what's y'all's connection?
He's a fan,
Yeah,
and a lot of producers aren't fans of the people that they try to shop their instrumentals to. And I find that to be like very problematic because you can't connect.
yeah,
You're just throwing me a beat that you think that I might sound good on, or you might have heard one song that you heard and be like, oh, I can center this beat. But with Roundtree, he's really listening to my music. He has an ear for the direction that I want to go on. So we kind of sat down all summer in the same room and just worked on beats like from scratch. He just gets it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He's not doing nothing out of the way or he just gets it. It's the same with Rolly.
yeah. Understands. Okay, okay. Now, what would you say is probably the biggest obstacle for you right now?
I'm a female rapper. I'm not half naked. And I know a lot of people a lot of people
That stripper raps.
yeah, and that's nothing against them because I enjoy a lot of I enjoy a lot of their music. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? People that you think I wouldn't
yeah.
enjoy, I enjoy a lot of
Enjoy
their
the music.
music.
Yeah,
But it's like I have a masculine type of delivery,
yeah,
and that's probably the biggest obstacle because most people don't want to hear that. Me just being real,
yeah,
unless you're really keen to hip hop and shit like that. A lot of people don't want to. Man, turn that shit off, man. Like it's like yeah, she's good, but like we can hear it, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But we want something we can bounce to,
yeah. Type
and I
shit.
don't make that type of music.
Yeah.
So
Now,
and I don't. I was about to say some shit. Never
not,
mind. Sorry.
like
I was ready to say some. We're gonna keep it.
PG.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it tasteful. I'm sorry. Anyway,
But no. So like, are you opposed to making music like that, or not saying the stripper raps,
yeah.
but I'm just saying the catchy, TikToky, cookie cutter type of music. Like, are you opposed to that, or are you just like that's just something that where you like that's just not even my bag.
100%, because I feel like it was one of those things that I struggled with when I first started. So it's very easy to get in the booth and make a bouncy ass song,
Yeah,
a dope ass song. But when it's time to perform that song and your body language and your performance don't translate that song, okay, well now you got a problem. Then you know what I'm saying? And then it just don't feed me. It don't feed me. Like a lot of those songs I hear, they be catchy. I listen to it once or twice or whenever I'm in the mood, but it's not fulfilling. Nobody wants to hear that shit over and over.
Yeah.
So I'm totally against it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know I asked you as far as what are things that are obstacles for you. Now, on a personal level, because sometimes we can be our worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? On a personal level, do you feel like there's anything that you're doing that is potentially getting in your way?
Oh hell yeah. I'm a slave to myself.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, man, I just don't connect. I
And
mean,
is that intentionally or is that's just naturally?
it's natural.
Natural.
It's just a natural thing where I don't trust people. I don't trust people, so you know that could kind of get in your way, I
Now,
guess.
what's I don't want to say, I mean, because everybody has different reasons for things. Do you mean just as far as just trusting people on the music side of thing, or do you mean just trusting people in like general?
Both.
What causes the pause with trusting people on the music? Because I feel like I've heard this, and I've learned this in my own space. Is you have your friends and you got your family,
Yeah.
but then you have in your aspect, you have your music friends,
Yeah.
your rapper friends,
Yeah.
and then you got like your rapper family. And I think a lot of times people confuse the rapper friends with like being like your real friends.
Yeah.
And like is that something that like along the lines as far as just trust people, like I have to remember, like at the end of the day, we only communicate or connect because of rap.
Yeah.
Outside of rap, we don't have nothing in common.
Yeah. That's actually the lesson that I've learned the hard way as of lately. You, this not to be pessimistic or negative or anything like that, but the industry is based off of self-preservation. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a very you or me type of thing. So everybody's fighting for something. They gon' they lying if they saying that they're
They're
not.
not.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like everybody's fighting for something. So far as the music side, almost everybody that you talk to, they want something from you. They want something from you. And that's not to be negative or anything like
Yeah.
that, but they want something from you. They may think they're hiding it,
Yeah.
but it's you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to trust people, you know?
But isn't that like part of the game? Like it's like I know, like at the end of the day, it's like you got teammates.
Yeah.
It's like I might not rock with this person on outside of, but when we are on the field together, on the court together, that's my dog. Like
Yeah.
we locked in. You might think we
Yeah.
best buds, but as soon as we hit the locker room, I don't say a word. We don't speak. You know what I'm saying? And you hear athletes, they be
Yeah.
like, people be like, I thought y'all were cool. Like, man, we was just teammates.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like it's a way to do it. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of times, just be honest about what it is that you're looking for from me, and I tell you the same thing. But I think where the issue is that people are like treacherous about it. But then I also have like this kind of like mindset where it's just like fuck you. I don't care about no teammates. Fuck you.
I mean, yeah, no, for sure. I think I do think music is a little more solo esque in a sense. But what I was getting at was when you said you don't really trust a lot of people musically, like that. I think that goes hand in hand because you do have to have a form of trust. Maybe not a lot, but you do have to have a form of trust. Like you built up a trust with Roundtree.
Yeah.
You built up a trust with Rolly, and yeah, it might not be another rapper, but it is a producer, and
Yeah.
those relationships are important. Like
Yeah.
I know that, like I trust this person to understand my direction
Yeah.
or to be able to capture my sound, or I can just lay a verse and they can produce a beat around my verse
Yeah.
versus I got to go find a beat
You see,
for my
that's
verse.
different. That's different. Yeah, like when you building a relationship and shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's different. But if you like a rapper, fuck you.
Now, is that just from a competitive?
Stay out my way.
Is that just from just you just competitive?
Yeah, very.
Okay, yeah.
And I know that could be viewed as like you know,
Yeah.
but I don't care.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't. You
Stay out my
shouldn't.
way. I don't
Right.
want to be friends.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't.
You know.
You definitely, most definitely shouldn't, like, because it is a competition at the end of the day.
I will say this though, I'm competitive in the realm of music. It doesn't translate over into the way that I treat people.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I know how to cut it off. A lot of people don't know how to cut it off. So when I'm doing music, I'm AD.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing music, I'm Asia.
Yeah.
I just want to be Asia. A lot of people, they get caught up in the attention and shit that they get from the music, and so they don't know how to kind of, and those are the ones that I don't like. And those are the ones that I make it my business to make it very hard for.
Or you just stay away from for the most part and just
Sure.
leave. Now, as far as this project, do you have any visuals lined up?
Yeah.
Which rappers?
We got draft day lined up. That'll be dropping probably like a week and a half. And then we got play ball lined up. So we're just gonna keep
Right.
doing them and not really worried about like the engagement or anything like that. We just want to feed the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to see a video for the intro, just because I like the Beastie Boys sample,
Yeah.
and I think the thing with the Beastie Boys always had like cool visuals.
Yeah.
Like I think you could like play off that in like a visual, like a little homage or whatever, or homage, whatever the fuck it's called. But like, I think that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people talk about great hip hop groups and stuff like that, a lot of times I feel like we gloss over the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys were actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like it's not my era.
They're legends.
You know what I'm saying? It's not my
legends.
era, but they get classics.
Yeah, they're legends.
But I think a lot of people just naturally they just don't think of the white rap group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The white rap group, but they got heat, and I just think that would be something cool to see, like a Beastie Boys esque type video in a sense, and I think that'd be dope.
Yeah. Look, those songs are like so hard to do visually because it's just like you gotta come hard.
Yeah.
So I'm eventually gonna.
You'd have to do it. It has one of the things you don't just
gotta
do it. You got to do it right.
You gotta do it right and do it correctly. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do a visual for it, but it just has to be.
It has to be right.
Yeah.
No, that perfectly. It makes sense. But no, that was the couple times I've turned on the tape. I'm like, I can't see the video, but I can see a video for this song with like the Beastie Boys stuff all in the camera and shit like that. And I think that'd be pretty cool. So as far as the project, you got the visuals coming. Do you got any shows planned? Like what's next?
Shows, as far as the city, is not like really priority.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, yeah, we'll. I don't mind doing.
Now, why isn't it a priority in the city?
Cause it's just starting to feel like a what you call it, the rat.
Oh, the hamster wheel.
Yeah, man, it's just like it's starting to feel like a hamster wheel at
Yeah.
this point where it's just like, man, we gotta. It's nothing wrong. I appreciate everybody that's giving me an opportunity to perform on like their platform, and but it's time you kind of got to move out the way for other people to kind of come in and perform on those platforms and stuff. So it's just like right now, if we're gonna do performances, it has to be outside like the city. Again, I'm not if it makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's not really where the focus is right now. The focus is produce more, because I feel like I dropped the ball a lot on like visuals and not being present. So I guess you could say that's one of my obstacles too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just me taking responsibility for not being as present and in people's faces as I could be. So we planning to like attack
Yeah.
that area, in a way that it doesn't become oversaturated or anything
Right.
like that, but just keep feeding people and keep people's eyes on me.
Right. Right. No, that's how it's supposed to be done in a sense. Like you're supposed to have your visuals and be able to pinpoint your strengths and weaknesses. Like I know you brought up, you said for yourself, you kind of get in your way with you being a slave to yourself. But like, if you had to be your toughest critic, like just based off your music, what would you say is the one aspect that you can really improve on musically?
That's a good question. Just because I'm hard on myself, period, I'm gonna keep saying my pen.
Yeah.
Anytime I think that I've written something really dope, I hear another artist and be like, okay, I gotta step my shit up. Just from like a artistry standpoint, and my toughest, like, what could I say? Damn, that's a really good question. I guess, you could say I play with some different sounds.
Yeah.
You know, you could say that. It kind of lighten up a little bit.
I was gonna say be more personable.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah,
be like not saying you gotta be shaking hands and kissing babies, all that
yeah,
bullshit. I ain't saying all that. But you got a personality.
yeah,
And I think showcasing that
yeah. I've been told that.
would let people be able to resonate, people would be able to like connect,
Yeah,
like people would be able to like understand the type of artist that you are, because it's probably people they see you make music, but they can't really necessarily connect to the music, but they would be able to connect to the person because your personality or your personal individual. It's like, you know what? I don't really know or care too much for their music, but
yeah,
I like the person.
yeah.
I'm a fan.
I
And
agree.
and sometimes that's what you need. I think that's the era that we're in. Like it's deeper than just making good music
Yeah,
and having good music. Like, can the people who are listening connect and relate to the individual? It's
yeah,
a lot of people, they might not necessarily like said music, but they like that person
yeah,
or they like the idea of that person
yeah.
to an extent. And it's like, that's a win.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because you like being honest with me, because a lot of people I ask, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm like, you're not doing anything wrong. I'm like, you're lying to me. Like, but
Aren't those the best?
yeah,
When they
I'm
lie
gonna
to you
take it. Yeah, you
and
know
they
what I'm
laugh,
saying.
yeah,
But I'm
keep
like,
lying.
no, I'm one of those people where I could take constructive
Yeah, type
criticism.
shit.
So tell me what I need to,
Yeah, yeah.
do better. And 9 times out of 10, I already know, but it just solidifies it when I hear it from
Other
other
people.
people. And I think that's where it kind of like reaches a cap with me, because a lot of people think I don't have a personality, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I like to think I have a really
yeah,
cool personality, but I don't let people in
yeah. No,
to
we've
know.
sat here
Yeah,
and we've talked for about 2 hours
yeah,
before we actually started recording, and it's like, again, I haven't verbally spoke to you since we did the first
yeah,
interview 5, 6 years ago, whatever the fuck that was. But to be able to sit there and have a conversation about your career, other artists, other rappers, pop culture, Nipsey, Cole, Drake, Kendrick, whatever,
Yeah.
and it never really lose a beat.
Yeah.
You have a personality. You know what I'm saying? I think you should showcase
Yeah.
that aspect that. And it doesn't even have to be
I'm
in a
scared of
sense of
that, man.
you know, you're scared of it because you don't do it. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
hate the internet.
but I do too. But
Yeah.
once you like do it and
Yeah.
you see like, oh, other people feel like this,
Yeah.
or other people agree, or other people can relate, and then it's like, okay, you can build a connection with people. You can build a connection, even if it's just one person or two people that always come back to your posts or whatever. Like, that's a form of consistency, and I think not even just for like you, but just
Yeah.
like other artists and creators and creatives. I think that's something that we all kind of deal with, because I personally had to get out of that aspect myself as well. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't have to. I used to not do thumbnails.
Yeah.
I used to just put it out,
Yeah.
and I was in my brain. I was like, shit, they gonna click it, but I'm not showing any.
Highlights.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not doing
anything
that.
like
So
that.
like, so now it's like I'm was some interviews I'm on camera with the person. Sometimes I'm not. It's
Yeah.
whatever. I don't have to always be on camera, but
Yeah.
I do it every once in a while, and that's a different wrinkle. Shows my personality. I'm in the view, whatever, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And I think it can help whatever it is you're doing,
Yeah.
take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the type of era that we're in, where like people want to be able to say, yeah, I connect to this person outside of what I was introduced to them by. Like, I
Yeah.
was introduced to you by your music, but I connect to you and I relate to you through your content
In
as a
person.
person. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's like, you'll see some people, they'll have their business page, but then they have their personal page or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll have two or three different pages. And at first I used to be like, that's weird. You got a page for you and your dog, and then you got a page for you and your family, then you get your music page. But then I realized like they do that because there's people who only care about them and their dog, and then there's people
Yeah.
that care about you with your family, but then there's people that care about you for what you, if it's content or music, they just care about that,
Yeah.
and you're putting that out there, and it all wraps up into one, and you're this person.
Yeah.
And I think like not just you, but you, other artists, if y'all attempted to be a little bit more personal, I think it would go a long way.
Thank you for telling me that, bro. I'm
Yeah,
gonna take heed to that,
yeah,
for sure. It's something I want to like lean into more, but again, I want to do it with good taste.
for sure,
Yeah, I
for
don't want to
sure.
be
You don't want to just do it just to do it.
yeah, and I also don't want to be performative either. So if I can't give people content with me just being my regular self,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate the word content, number one. I hate that word, but
It's a it's
it's
not a
like
trigger
people's
word, but it's
beating it
a
with a bat,
yeah.
dude. Like,
It's
shut
like
the fuck up.
content, vibe, culture. It's like
Yes,
words like
over
that.
it,
It's like
dude. Like,
y'all say it too much,
yeah,
man. But yeah, nah,
because it water it down,
it
and then it
does.
makes people like me be like, I ain't doing that shit because you hear it so much, or you gotta do content. You gotta
Everybody does
yeah,
it.
everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely agree with everything that you're saying. It's something that I'm working on to be a little bit more like personable and show people, hey, I'm not bland. I'm not Wednesday Adams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just really
But
cool, man. Like,
you
I'm real
can lean
cool.
into that.
Yeah.
You can lean into that. People, they might think you're bland, or people might think you're like Wednesday. Like, you
Yeah.
can lean into that, and like, not saying like you performative, but like, okay, this is like, people think I'm this type of person. I'm a lean into it, and maybe you do something where you do a concept song where you use the Adam's apple, or not Adam's apple,
Yeah.
but Adam's family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just something, just like, it's whatever. Like,
I'm probably a little bit more like Violet off of The
vibe.
Incredibles.
Oh,
I'm probably more in that.
in that realm. But
Yeah.
again, like, that's
Yeah.
all. It's all ways you can like take some stuff and spin it and flip it into your favor.
Yeah.
And but that just goes into being more personable in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
sense. And
Yeah.
and I think And I think being more personal, being more out there, it can definitely help more than it can hurt. I think the only time it hurts is when you're too accessible.
Yeah, and
You
talking
make
too
your
much.
yeah, you make yourself too out there, and then now it can kind of hurt you because
Yeah,
number one, that's hard to keep up.
yeah,
Is to always be out there, but then also like to maintain. But you can trip up, you can say something, do something, and mess everything up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's definitely a balance, but definitely something that, like I said, I advise not just you, but just other people as
yeah,
well. Just like show a little personality.
yeah,
Don't be afraid to should just be yourself.
yeah,
Be yourself on camera, on video, on your records.
yeah.
The people that like it, the people that it's
Yeah.
made for, they're
I'm
gonna
getting a
fuck
little
with it.
better with the camera because when I first started doing this shit, it's just
It's
not
nerve
relaxed
wracking.
and stuff.
It's
Yeah,
nerve
so
wracking.
hopefully this video kind of opens the door or
Yeah,
creak it a little bit into who I am as a person.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As it should.
Yeah, I'm not mean, man. I'm not mean, guys.
Yeah, I'm. Hey, I like I said, we sat here for 2 hours and we
Just
talked,
chill.
and we just, like I said, we talked about every everything, and it's like it wasn't. Sometimes when you have conversations with people, and we definitely agreed on a lot of shit. Like we agreed on
Yeah,
stuff that we're like stuff that if we said publicly, the public would be like, "What are you saying?"
yeah,
But like we have the mind we can see through a lot of things. We look through stuff like a different lens, and it's like, nah, it was more so along this because blase blase. And even the stuff
do
that
you
like,
think that hinders us though?
what do you mean
Because we
individually?
able to see through bullshit. I'll be honest, it hinders me a lot.
I think it hinders us in a sense because it's already hard enough to get the crowd to like pay attention to you.
Yeah,
But
and you talking
if
shit.
yeah, so it's like, see, but that's another crowd.
Yeah,
And I think that's a crowd that I think should be focused on
yeah,
because that's the crowd that's going to actually engage. That's the crowd that's going to help push the conversation forward. Like,
yeah,
that's the crowd that's not going to BS you. Like, that's the crowd. Yeah, they might say some off the wall stuff to you or whatever, or vice versa, but the conversation is going to get pushed forward. The conversation is not going to stop at, oh, we agree, yay, or
yeah,
you're doing amazing, yay, or I love it, yay. It's going to be like, I like it, but dot, 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 dot.
yeah,
Okay, and now can you take it from there to dot, 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 dot. You know what I'm saying? The ball doesn't stop with that
yeah,
other crowd. So I think for us, looking through stuff through a lens like that, we're part of the people who push the conversation forward because the
yeah,
conversation always needs to be pushed forward. And I think, which is crazy because I think that's the issue with the music scene around here and just music and the media scene is that the conversation is not getting pushed forward.
yeah.
And the people who can help push the conversation forward,
Well,
they're
it's not
stopping
a
the ball.
conversation to begin with. You got to start there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're stopping the ball.
Yeah,
Like they're not even allowing the conversation to move.
yeah,
They are definitively the judge, jury, and execution.
yeah,
Like I say it stops here, it stops here. And it's
yeah,
like, no, like there's no reason why Louisville. I remember in 20, this is the Tiller era,
yeah,
2015, 2017, 502 come up. Louisville's next. Louisville's about to be a music hub. They kept saying it. And Louisville caught a little steam, but Louisville never reached the. There's no reason Louisville can't be Memphis. There's no reason Louisville can't be. Not saying Atlanta,
yeah.
but something
But it
similar.
can though.
It's no reason. It's no reason Louisville can't look like these other what I call them sister cities. It's no reason Louisville can't no reason Louisville can't look like DC.
Yeah,
Like it's no reason why Louisville can't look like all these other cities and places because we have the talent. But the one thing that we are missing is we're missing the resources and we're missing the outreach.
yeah,
And what happens is a lot of other places like LA or New York or in Atlanta
yeah,
or Chicago, they'll come here.
yeah,
take what they like, take what they see,
and then they bounce.
and then we take it with us. Nobody puts back into the ecosystem in Louisville. Other places just come and take.
I think it's that as well, and I also think that music scene here lacks chastisement.
Oh yeah, nobody likes criticism.
That's really where I see it stands out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us, including myself, sometimes you need people to look you in your face and be like, "Yo, that's wrong.
yeah,
That's weird, bro. Like you being a peon. Like you know what I'm saying? That's not right." So until we could get that factor squared away, then the resources, then the outreach will happen. You know what I'm saying? And this is not a put down on Louisville because Louisville has done some great things.
yeah.
And we produce some great talent to come out of here, and we're still producing great talent. But it's when you look at people from like California, Atlanta, and even still New York, they got new artists coming out of them cities like hotcakes
All
bro.
the time.
Like you know what I'm saying, like hotcakes. It should never. It is not a. I don't understand the reason behind artists or rappers making it out of here every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. We should
With the kind of
have,
talent we have.
there should be a new challenger every year.
Every year.
Every 8 to 14 months.
Yeah.
We should have somebody new popping up on the scene and taking it to the next level. Like Tiller's done his thing, Jack's done his thing, G's done his thing. And we've had a few people in certain little pockets that have kind of like Mars popped off a little bit. Down to Mars, they doing their thing with the whole more like a band though. They're more like it's more. I don't. What would you? I mean, because they're artists for sure, but they're more like a artist, band, producer s type of group.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. Like they're a little bit different,
Still
but they make
yeah.
music. Yeah, they got their wave. You know what I mean? And Malachi and Peaky are dope. Like I fuck with both of them, but
They solid dudes too as well. Like very genuine.
Exactly, and I think a combination of being genuine and a combination of just really
Talented.
being talented. It's one of the things. Like even if they weren't genuine, you can't deny the talent. It's like they nice. Like they good at what they do, and they know that they're good at what they do, and they know that they're nice, and everything that they do, like you can almost tell. It's like how we spoke about basketball earlier. It's like and you play basketball. You got some people might think somebody is nice because they got all the moves in the world, but they not going nowhere. But then you got somebody like a Kawhi Leonard, where Kawhi Leonard, he might only have 3 moves, but he's getting to his spot every single time, and you can't stop it. It's like I'm going left, and I'm pulling up every time, elbow. What are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? And it's like he moves with a purpose.
Yeah.
He don't just move just to move, moves with a purpose. Yeah. And that's kind of like how I see Pinky and Malachi. Like a lot of the stuff I see them do, like they do it with a purpose. Yeah. Like the move makes sense.
I think every creative has to go through that phase though.
Yeah.
Where it looks like you going somewhere and you ain't going no fucking where, bro. Like
I think I put out almost 100 interviews in 1 year for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to me, I was putting in that work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I wasn't going nowhere.
Cause it's like you don't have no structure behind it. And that's why I tell people a lot of times now, because I had to learn it.
Yeah.
You can rap your ass off. I mean, you could be the most talented person, but if you don't have anything that people can attach themselves to, bro, you just out here rapping. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, seldom do people get away with just rapping and singing for a long time. So that's where the brand comes in. You know what I'm saying? When somebody see baseball, they're gonna automatically think AD now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think every creative has to go through that. You could be as good as you want to be, but essentially, if you're not going nowhere, you're just good.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
it.
good. Yeah.
Nothing else behind it. So, and it's a very tough pill to swallow, but you gotta look yourself in the mirror and be able to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, I've had plenty of conversations where I'm like, I know I'm really good,
Yeah.
but I'm not going anywhere. I've recently had that conversation with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what can I do to get somewhere?
Get some traction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because otherwise it just becomes like, I'm gonna talk my shit because that's just the type of rapper that I am. Not particularly aimed at anybody, but after a while, it's like you pumping your chest. You
Shit
just
gets
pumping your
redundant.
chest. It gets redundant. You know what I'm saying? And like macho. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, for as much as you understand your strengths, you gotta understand your weaknesses as well. So, and a lot of artists don't want to admit to themselves that they have
A
a
weakness.
weakness.
Yeah.
With me, I think that's what makes me stand out amongst a lot of different artists, where it's just like, you can't say anything fucked up to me because chances are I already know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what would you say is, spoke about weaknesses, what would you say is your strength?
I'm real.
Yeah.
You might not like me. You might not like how I say something, but I'm not lying. I'm not putting a lie in my music. And I think that's an advantage for any rapper. Because there's a lot of cold rappers and shit out here, but a lot of them lie.
Yeah.
And it eventually hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? So being real is a strength.
Real, what do they say? Real is rare.
Yeah.
Real is rare.
And a lot of people say, oh, I'm so real, I'm so real. And then it's like, man,
Those be the ones that
yeah,
ain't.
whatever.
Those be
You
the
know what I'm
ones
saying?
who ain't the
But
realest.
I can honestly be like, hey, I'm being 100% honest with everything that I'm saying in the music.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I got bars. Anybody can have bars if they work their pen long enough. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that's exclusive to one rapper. So I don't really find like, people say, oh, you nice, you okay, that means a lot to me, but it means more when somebody say that they can relate to what I'm saying, or they're inspired by what I'm saying. And people can only feel that way if you being honest.
Being honest. Yeah.
So that's my strength.
Okay. Okay. And we talked about a lot. We talked about the project, strength, weaknesses. Can and can't do better. I think it's been a pretty good interview. You got any shout outs? You got any? You got no shout outs?
No, shut up. They be alright.
Well, look, no, I definitely appreciate you letting me pull up. Like I said, we spoke for about 2 hours before we got the ball rolling, and we just shooting the shit. You feel me? Having honest, real, thorough, transparent conversations. I definitely, like I said, I love the project. Can't wait to see some of the visuals. Like I said, I'm a visual guy. I'm a YouTube guy, so I'm always on YouTube. I'm always watching stuff. Like that's what I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what visuals you got planned for the tape. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what else you got coming out in the future. And like I said, it's been another episode of Opinionated Facts.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, and we out.
Thank you.